right, today is a massive workout. Going to the track. Finally, the track is clear. It's warm enough. It's like 50 degrees. Praise the Lord. We haven't done this for a while, since Chicago, yeah?
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to be back. We are so back. Today's workout is 2 miles up with some strides, and then it will be 4 by K in 3:18 a piece with 1 minute of walk rest in between there. And then it'll go straight into 4 by 800 meters. And that's at 238 per rep with 1 minute walk rest. And then straight into 6 by 600 in 155 per 600, which is like right over 5 minute flat 3 minute K pace for 6 reps there with 1 minute of walk rest. And then 2 miles down. It's very similar to the 13 by 800 Jeff gave me that I failed at like a month ago. But I am way fitter now. I am way more prepped. I've been carb loading for this. And then right now I'm just fixing up 2 bottles. This is 2 scoops of G1M Sport. And this is what I take. Like I took a whole 2 servings of that earlier today. I'm doing 2 more now. I'll sip on it before. And then it'll just be in the bottle during the workout. So running the workout fueled and being all topped up there. And then this is my classic after a hard midweek workout. I use BPM to recover and electrolytes in this bottle, and I'll feast on some blueberries after the workout as well. If it isn't apparent, I am a BPN athlete. I use all BPN supplements for fueling and for recovery and all that hydration, all that good stuff. So if you're ever interested in trying out BPN or want to support the channel, you can always use my code Floberg to get 10% off of anything in BPN's line. It's always linked in the description. So let's go freaking annihilate this. Dude, it's like the redemption tour. That's the last one. I was so unprepared for that. It was so early. We got sunset. The filmmaker in us is geeking out at golden hour. It's gonna be a beautiful one. Let's go rip it. Shoes are so loud. I feel like a clown. I've had 3 weeks worth of workouts and a long run workout that don't necessarily feel like a psychological win, because like the one I did in my garage on the treadmill just didn't feel like effort it normally would on the road at those paces. It felt too easy. The whole workout kind of felt like a 7 out of 10. And I've been suspicious as to that, you know, if that's the case with that treadmill. I have the Nordic Track commercial 1750. I almost feel like the bounce that it gives back just doesn't, there's something about it. My heart rate's always lower at those paces. Maybe it's not fully calibrated anymore. I don't know, it makes me get up in my head. And then I had the long run workout, and that was obviously out on the road, but I was in, 2 to 3 layers of clothing, and the roads were all wet and sloshy from the snow. So, and then I had what felt like the most realistic workout on the Wahoo Kicker treadmill last week, in last week's episode, where 535 tempo felt like 535. It felt like as hard as it was at Austin running that pace for a half marathon. It felt like the 518 mile repeats felt like 518. And that treadmill claims to be that it's firm, and I really loved my experience with that. But today I finally get to go to the track again, and it's not early morning with 4 hours of sleep, a full night of sleep. I'm carved up, my mind is right, the weather's nice, and this feels like it's gonna be the first real experience of what my fitness is. And I'm excited to throw down because I know the fitness is good. But I want that mental win to actually feel that on a real track, in a real life circumstance of running, not on a treadmill. So I'm really just excited to kind of prove that now. And that's the mentality I'm going into this workout with. It's not super lighthearted. I'm actually like ready to eviscerate this thing.
It's so bright.
Yeah, what the heck? All right, programmed the workout into my watch. I will put it on track mode, so everything will be super accurate. And then I'll just call out everything I need to do without having to think about it. Jeez, Cyrus.
Loud zipper.
Dude, that was very unprofessional.
You know me?
Okay, warm up. Oh, that's a lot of stuff moving around. Oh, feels so good. Winter sucks, but to withstand winter as regularly as I have, days like this just feel a million times better because of all of the torment of cold and darkness. It's just so enjoyable. I can't keep going, I have
to. Dude, gotta put you on.
What do you guys have today?
He's got 4x1K, 4x8, 6x6.
When are you gonna get out here?
Dude, I'm not running, you know me.
Between the broken homes and the one-way roads and the useless use of small talk, I saw the devil walking on the crosswalk and he looked me in the eye. So when the nights get darker and it gets so cold, you have nothing to prove and less to lose. So put your hand on your chest and lay your heart beat. Lay your heart beat. When you're under eyes and you're flying high and the darkness comes and slaps you silly. 'Cause it's a jungle in the city.
Alright, so a little bit of a different format here. Just gonna voice over a good part of the second half of this video. This is almost the entirety of the first 800 meter rep. At least you're seeing a lap and a half. Oh, sorry, this is the second one actually. And I just wanted to talk a bit about each of these reps. This is a crazy workout. 4 reps of 1K. You know, a lot of people will do like up to 10 by 1K. So I guess it's maybe the equivalent volume, given 4 800s and then 6 600s. But you see me taking fuel in between laps. I have that 60-second walk rest, so every time I got to that corner of the track by the garbage can, I was taking in G1M. And the reason I'm doing that instead of gels here is because McCurdy is bottle fueling. And as you'll see in the next episode, the long run that I did the next Saturday after this workout, I set up a table in my front yard and fueled with bottles. And a lot of people talk about 800 repeats being your marathon goal time. So my marathon goal time is 2:30. I should be nailing my 800 repeats in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's like the Yasso 800 technique. But I mean, doing 60-second walk rest here, so that's not the same. In the Yassos, you do a 2 minute 30-second rest, the equivalent of your actual lap pace. But a 2:38, I was really clocking like 2:36s here on average, is a really, really good stimulus inside of such a massive workout here. You might notice towards the end of the rep, my cadence actually started changing. And I've noticed this a lot on repeat work for myself, is that my cadence falls in each rep. And I think that's a pretty normal thing, you know, given fatigue as you slow in the rep. I think it'd be really cool to start targeting negative splits within repeat workouts to not go out so hot. Practice some of the same psychological discipline as what it takes to race a marathon well, too. To not go out too hot and to finish strong. But another reason why I'm slowing down at the end of these reps is I was actually going a bit too fast on some of these, and I didn't want to, just burn too much on one rep and then fade on the last ones and run like a 240 on the last 800 reps. I constantly have to remind myself, if you see me taking a walk rest here, it's just as much physical as it is mental. Obviously get your body right with the rest, but you have to get your mind sharp and ready for the next one. So the Koros workout has me just going as soon as it beeps, and I go right on the line. It's excellent with measurement in lane 1. But I constantly have to remind myself in workouts like this, like I'm doing them in high volume. I'm doing this within an 82-mile week. I don't know what the K equivalent is. Maybe I could put it on the screen. It's way different to have that many miles on your legs and be hitting these paces as well. So I need to be kind to myself also in that regard. It's quite humbling to have a bunch of teenagers rip past you in a 400-meter repeat while you do an 800 repeat. Something else I have noticed this year is that my heart rate is changing quite a bit. I don't know if my max heart rate is lowering from the 190 metric that Koros has me at, but a lot of these repetition workouts have me in the high 160s, and I feel like I am at that top limit.
6 more 600s. Oh.
So the 800s are done here, and I'm doing my 60-second walk rest. Go, Kevin. Let's go. 60-second walk rest into the last 600-meter reps. Listen to Cyrus here. This is right before he had the flu. I think he was catching the flu. Oh, nice. 600s suck. They're that middle ground between what feels like
Frozen.
It got very cold. We misjudged the temps. They were 50 at the start, but it got to like freezing by the end of the workout. 600s suck because they feel like a sprint still, but 600 meters is not a sprint distance. So running 153 to 155 was a big task at the end of a workout like this with the high volume on the week. You could see my breath.
I screwed up my rest time on these. I put them in as 2 minutes instead of 1. I don't know what to do. Should have split it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be so off.
I thought it would be really off, but I ended up just splitting them manually with the mistake, and it actually corrected itself. So my mistake in thankfully the system just corrected. Every time I split it manually, it would just go to the next interval rep. So it's not an issue at all. I actually ended up doing like a 75-second rest there because of that mistake, I think. But we were closing in on the second 600 here. Again, cadence falling quite a bit because of fatigue. I'm getting chased down by teenagers. Something I really try to do in these workouts is do these reps unbroken. I got too cold, needed to get the jacket back on. This is the Graves shell jacket from Path Projects. Love this thing. It just got too cold. One thing I love doing in these repeat workouts is trying my hardest not to do any of it unbroken. So making sure that the 60-second rests are 60 seconds exactly, that I'm not having to take a bunch of breaks. You know, obviously I had to take the porta potty break. Let's go, Kevin. This was one of his best workouts ever.
Oh man, I'm dying. You're good.
The middle reps of any chunk are always the hardest. I've said this before on episodes. I think psychologically there's something to be said there. The last reps are much easier because you can feel the ending and you know you can kind of empty the tank. But those middle reps, with the daunting reality of still needing to do 2 or 3 more, I think are some of the most psychologically demanding ones.
That one was surprisingly good.
So I think that's where I started to realize, like, hey, it's getting close to the end. Let's push a little bit harder. But I'm really realizing in training for a 2:30.
Okay.
Training for a 2:30 marathon, I want these workouts to be at the 80 to 90% range, maybe to 95, not 100. Like, I don't want this to feel like a race effort. I think that's pretty unanimous across the board that nobody thinks, no coach, nobody who's experienced in marathon training will recommend doing all-out efforts within workouts, because a lot of this is pushing your lactate threshold. It's really giving you the ability to clear lactate in your body more efficiently. And so lactate is that feeling, that burning sensation in your muscles when lactate is filling in your blood. And whether this is lactate threshold work or VO2 max work, however you want to slice it, dice it based on the distances, you are becoming more efficient in clearing that lactate by doing this repeat work, by getting more volume in your legs at faster speeds. And I really appreciate 600 meter repeats. I mean, I don't, obviously. They're brutal. But it's getting that leg turnover and making 540 to 545 mile pace for my target marathon feel much easier when the workouts demand so much leg movement and quick leg turnover like this one did. I literally had to do 2 hands on the bottle because my hands, I couldn't close my hands. It was brutal. And just to offset some of the repetition of going one way, I do cool down miles the opposite way on the track. Well, that was a smashing success outside of the poops I had to take. I had, after rep 2, I had to go, ran to the porta potty, probably had a 5-minute rest instead of a 1-minute rest, is what it is. Rather clear the system to keep hammering reps. But the Ks went 315, the target was 318, 315, 317, 311, 315. Great success. Then unbroken through the end, I did 800s. There's supposed to be 238. I ran 236, 236, 235, 235. Very pleased with that. And then 600s, the target was 155. I ran 153, 154, 155, 155, 154, 153. We did it. Yay! Very happy with that. And proved to myself that I'm as fit as the data has said and the treadmills have said. So I guess the conspiracy is no longer a conspiracy. Do aliens exist? Do treadmills work? Was JFK taken out by the government?
Okay.
Or is Nordic Trek lying to you?
Keep it in.
Keep it in. Did Joe Biden...